go, here we go. What's up, everybody? It is Monday already. May 8th, 2023. There was a lot of news this weekend. A lot of bad news. Like, just wild out here right now. It's just lots of killings, fighting on the Nikola Jokic had an interaction with the Suns owner. I guess they got into a little tussle. He shoved the owner of the Suns, Nikola. That's a big guy. I don't know if he's Russian or what. Saw that pop up. The Brat performed at the Lovers and Friends Festival with her belly out. Interesting. Yeah, the news is newsing big time. Let's see what else. It's so much news to get to. I'm going down my feed really to see. I guess the MTV Awards came on, which who even watches that anymore? Everything is just like really sucks. Like all the news, all the award shows suck. Let's see what else we got here. A swarm of bees lashed themselves onto the wing of a Delta flight and delayed it for over 4 hours. Attack of the bees. That would really suck. Like big time, man. Stuck on a plane for 4 hours. Y'all don't have no water hose? I'm just saying. COVID is no longer a global public health emergency, according to the WHO. A Publix work crew picked up 500 pounds of noodles discarded in the woods of a New Jersey town. Let's see what else. So there was a Texas mall shooting. Let's see if this will play.
Half staff. There's a prayer service taking place right now. A community is grieving and searching for answers. We've seen it again and again and again, but that doesn't make it any easier for folks in Allen, Texas, which takes its place on a list of nearly 200 mass shootings in the United States this year, and it's only May. We are on pace for the worst kind of record. Tonight, we'll look at what's going on in America that may be contributing to this surge, but first, we have new details about what took place yesterday when 8 people were killed at an outdoor shopping mall just outside Dallas. We have new reporting on the suspect who allegedly interacted with neo-Nazi and white supremacist content online. And we're learning more about what shoppers on a regular Saturday trip to the mall had to do to survive. We have multiple reports tonight, beginning with Priscilla Thompson.
Gunshots shattering the peace of a Saturday afternoon shopping trip.
We need an ambulance. We can't get these people to the ambulance.
8 people were killed and 7 more injured, including children, police say, after a gunman opened fire at this sprawling outlet mall in Allen, Texas, just north of Dallas. The victims' identities not yet revealed.
Got one more white or Hispanic male subject wearing a black tactical garb, armed with an AR. He's got some white lettering on the vest that says police or security.
Dashcam video shows the moment the alleged shooter got out of his car and began firing. The suspect was killed by an officer who police say was already on scene for an unrelated call.
He heard gunshots, went to the gunshots, engaged the suspect, and neutralized the suspect.
Law enforcement officials say the shooter was 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia, who had interacted with neo-Nazi and white supremacist content online. Overnight, officials searching the home of the alleged shooter as neighbors watched in disbelief.
It's kind of quiet, kind of, where a little hoodie just walk up and down the block, did say to himself, just always alone.
He went to high school with some of the neighbors, and they just said he was just always very quiet.
This scene, one that is all too familiar. Americans in fear, forced to run, hide, and pray.
We ran to the back, barricaded it with some concrete bricks, and then right then on the security camera, thank God we went in the back at that time. We saw him walk right by, masked up, fake police outfit on.
Survivors returned to the scene today to collect their vehicles, many still in shock.
We heard all these shots started, and she had just been out there, and if she hadn't come in the store, she'd have probably
on the edge of the...
As another grief-stricken community gathers to mourn and to heal.
Priscilla, it's so upsetting. Any update on those 7 people who police say were injured?
Kate, 6 of those patients remain hospitalized, 3 in critical condition. As tonight, thousands are gathered in the church behind me, including Texas Governor Greg Abbott, praying that those victims will pull through. Kate.
So it's really sad lately. People, it's just getting wild out here. It's just, I don't know, man. I really don't. Then you have the Jordan Neely, who died Monday after a former U.S. Marine put him in a chokehold on the New York City subway. He had struggled without being able to help his mother before she was killed in 2007, and she was still grieving her death. This guy was a Michael Jackson impersonator, and he was, known. A lot of people knew him for that. Obviously, he did suffer from some mental illness, but it is just, so much crazy news this week. It's just, it doesn't even make sense anymore. The debt ceiling is being discussed. Thousands of Bangladesh women face reproductive health issues caused by increasing salt content in the waters in which they live and work. Also, interesting story. Hundreds of Hawaii residents have been relying on bottled water since March after the State Department detected forever chemicals in the local water systems. Wow. Yeah, a lot of killings this weekend. It's kind of become the norm. Jenny Craig employees are seeking to join a class action lawsuit alleging the company violated federal and state WARN Acts, which require companies to give employees a 60-day notice of having mass layoffs or facility closures. Yeah. I wonder how that'll go. We've all kind of felt that gloom. Yeah, it's just, and Kevin Costner's wife filed for divorce after 18 years of marriage. Don't know why that's news, but okay. Hunter Biden's ex-business partner Devin Archer is edged to spill the dirt to avoid prison. They're really about to try to lock old Hunter up. I would not be shocked. Meghan Markle did not go to the coronation. She's still in California. Chicago gay bars boycott Anheuser-Busch as the brewer distances itself from Dylan Mulvaney. I guess they got scared. I don't know. I didn't know that people stopped drinking it or how that affected. I know we always have this fake outrage over everything, but maybe they felt like it wasn't a good brand. I don't like pandering people anyway. I don't like when people pander to black people. It's just like if we want to end this whole inclusive diversity silly, just replace everybody with cartoons, honestly. Like, who cares? See what the celebs are doing. The celebs. The coronation had a music. Lionel Richie, Katie, and more. I don't even know what a coronation is, honestly. Don't know. Really don't care. Kim and Kanye are so peacefully co-parenting. Chris Brown had a birthday party where he allegedly got into a fight with either Usher or somebody. I guess Bad Bunny is a boxer now. He has some WWE event in Puerto Rico and he won. He's beat Damian Priest, whoever that is. Simone Biles got married to this football player, Jonathan Owens. Hopefully that lasts. Aretha Franklin's childhood home is up for sale in Detroit if anybody wants to buy it. Jamie Foxx is, I don't know what he is, out of the hospital or not, but you know, like I said, when he comes home, everybody's going to think he's a clone. He's been gone too long. I'm just kind of like, at this point, waiting for all the clone stories to pop up. Because you know there are going to be a lot of them. Let's see what the Redditors... What drug will you never touch again and why? Mine was definitely Oxys or whatever. They gave me that after I had my son and I was so high. There's no way you can take care of a baby on that. Somebody said Ambien. Somebody said they woke up in their truck in the driveway with the keys and ignition. No idea what happened. Wow. That's wild. A lot of people are saying Ambien. So beware of you Ambien takers. Somebody said meth, never wanted to do it, but was led to believe it was MDMA. Had a great time at the party and didn't really notice it till it was over. The girlfriend I had hours-long heartfelt conversation with, after which we were like, nice, right? Must be morning, let's go to bed. To our horror, it was 2 p.m. and we slowly realized as sleep continued to elude us that we actually had been eating meth all night. We didn't manage to sleep until about midnight or so. In retrospect, we were actually acting like twacked out gremlins the whole time. You always wonder how the meth heads think they're acting totally normal, and I'm here to tell you that it felt normal at the time, but no, not normal. Don't do meth. Alcohol or cocaine, I used and abused them for a solid 15 years of my adult life. Lost my house, my partner in a web of lies I hated being tangled in. Don't do drugs, kids. A lot of people are saying cocaine. Heroin, yes, I would not recommend. Yeah, I don't even know why y'all even want to try it. Somebody said inhalants. My number one choice was air duster. I know it seems silly, but believe me, the high is very real. This stuff is dangerous, as very addictive and really easy to get a hold to. I remember I saw Intervention one time where this girl was huffing or whatever it is. Older women, what are something young women do that are puzzling to you? Put them wigs on, especially in the summer. The wigs and them lashes. I don't know how y'all get up and do that every day. Let's see what else people are saying. Fat removal surgery. Yeah, it seems cool, but I mean, unless you're just going to be skinny forever and not. For the surgery, it has to be like really worth it for me. And I'm at the age now, this is the body I'm going to have. Overdone lip injections. Don't understand those either. Blasting pictures of their young children all over social media for that with thousands of followers. Yeah, I mean, at first this was cute, but in retrospect, when you look back at, and if you really think about how many pervs are out there, you would probably not want to do that. Well done makeup without contouring. Yeah, I am not into makeup. I'm literally like a mascara girl, if that. Crying on the internet. Yes. Why? Taking pictures of yourself all the time, even as a younger person. Yeah, and the filter is also not really what you look like. The filter to me is very dangerous because that is not what you look like. And then when you see what you really look like, it's like, yuck. And I notice, like, when I stare at myself long enough, I always start finding things wrong with my face. I don't know how y'all do it either. I actually even hate seeing pictures of myself because eventually I'll be like, oh, why do I look like that? I know it's terrible, but yeah, it's kind of wild. Let's get into some story time. I try to not pick too many crazy things, so let's see what we got for you guys.
Boyfriend Craig is very handsome. It took me about 2 to 3 months and I was completely in love with him and giving him money to get his inheritance. I sold my living room furniture. I do miss my furniture, especially when I have company and there's really no place for anybody to sit right now. He just asked me last night for $2,500 more. Francis, send her money. I said, Francis, you're crazy.
You believe Fran's getting conned?
Yes, definitely.
You believe this is a catfish, somebody's scamming her?
I said, Fran, you're being scammed.
We were able to find the man in the Craig photos. So let me be very clear. You're seeing your Craig, right?
Yes, it is.
And let me tell you, he has absolutely nothing to do with this whatsoever.
I am the man in the photos, but I have not been speaking with you at all.
I'm sorry.
Do you have any doubts whatsoever?
It tells me I'm deleting everything and moving on with my life best I can. After the show, I did meet a guy just a few weeks after I got home that contacted me on social media. I asked who it was, and he said, it's Chris. Well, you knew me as Craig. I don't know how he manipulated her again, but he did. Wasn't long that he wanted money. I sent him a total of $1,000. I said, Francis, you've got to be kidding me. You did not send that man money again. I am ashamed to face Dr. Phil. He told me that he wanted to be honest with me and tell me who he really was.
As opposed to before when he told you he was white, then black, and Craig, then now Chris.
He told me that he lived in London and he needed a visa and $3,000 to get the visa, and that's when I deleted him and said no, absolutely not. I've got someone else I'm talking to. His name is Daniel. Francis, you do know that Daniel is another scammer, correct? Hey, I'm sorry, I just totally disagree.
Now, Fran, you need to get off the internet.
Amen.
So you need to unplug. Unplug for 90 days and give yourself a chance to meet somebody in the real world. Okay? Well, Fran, it's been over a year since I last saw you, and you promised me you'd get off the internet, unplug, and start living in the real world and find a real partner. So it's good to see you. How have you been?
It's good to see you, Dr. Phil, and I have been great.
So
I did get off the internet for 90 days like I promised you.
Okay. Have you heard from Craig, Chris, or Daniel since we last spoke?
I have not heard from Daniel. I, however, have heard from Chris. He calls me with different numbers. Texts me, actually, doesn't call. Yeah. He texts me with different numbers, but I took your advice, and I tell him to go to hell every time. Okay. And I follow.
And now that you truly get it and you look back on that phase, what do you think about that? Does that seem like another person, or does it seem like how do you look at that?
I look at it totally different. I also use Doctor on Demand, that you offered me,
Right.
and that helped me considerably. I have started a whole new life. I also go dancing 3 to 4 nights a week. I have met real men who treat me with utmost dignity. I haven't settled down to no one certain man, but I do date real men, and I do have a good time dancing now, Dr. Phil.
Oh my God, I've created a monster. You still have the living room furniture that we bought you, correct?
Yes, that's what I'm sitting on talking to you right now.
Okay. Yeah, you sell that and I'm going to be real man.
Well, I don't blame you. I would be too.
Okay. Well, no, I'm just so glad to hear it all. Well, look, thank you so much for checking in with us. And thanks for being Fran's best friend. Because that's what you need to do, is treat yourself like a best friend.
It feels good. It really does. I mean, I cannot say enough how much you have helped me. And Doctor On Demand helped me a great deal also that you offered me. And my whole life has changed. I'm a totally different person.
Well, that's what we like to do.
Mama was getting, that lady needed a pet or a robot friend or something, because she was clearly lonely, and she just was a glutton for punishment.
This is going to be a hard journey for us.
Crystal Clayton and her 4 siblings, including a 7-year-old, face grief after mom Latrice Clayton died on her dream vacation to the Ivory Coast in West Africa. Daughter Dayana Mashak says it will cost more than $15,000 to bring her mom's body home, $3,000 for medical bills, more than $12,000 to prep the body and ship it to KC.
It's like we can't even grieve because she's not here.
The 46-year-old was visiting a friend in Abidjan. 2 days in, she felt nauseous and went to the clinic. Clayton caught malaria.
She got all mandatory and required vaccinations.
Crystal says she was also taking the pill that's supposed to prevent malaria. She says malaria stayed in Clayton's system for a few days. Doctors suggested she seek further treatment in the U.S. Her daughters bought Clayton a plane ticket to come home, but her blood pressure was too high to travel. The U.S. Embassy told them an air ambulance would cost about $200,000.
So now I'm like really hurt, because it's like they really seem like they don't care at all. And I feel like if they would have moved a little bit more faster, maybe she could have been able to still be here.
Then Clayton suffered a stroke. Crystal said she stopped breathing. Doctors rushed her into surgery. She came out in a coma and died 2 days later.
It hurts. I'm still young. I'm 26 years old. I never thought I'd walk the day at this age without my mother.
The love she had for all of us.
Mashak says Clayton taught them to stick together, that family is everything, even if the rock is gone.
It's tough. Our mom was like our best friend. All of us.
That's wild, like, and always my fear, like, when I go on vacation without my children, you know, it's just the worst feeling to think that something can happen to you, and, you know, man. Hopefully they have some comfort and, I don't know, knowing that she went on vacation. I don't know, that's really hard.
You ever eaten ramen noodles? Exactly. Here's the deal. New research from the Mayo Clinic is showing that it can increase the risk for metabolic syndrome, especially for women. And that can mean increased risk for heart problems, stroke, and diabetes. But researchers say it's not just ramen. Any instant noodle products could be putting you in danger if you're eating them more than twice a week. So why are women affected the most? Probably because of BPA that's found in the packaging, which is known to mess with those estrogen levels. And a flashback for you tonight from our newscast back in 2012, and a look at what exactly happens once ramen noodles make it into your stomach. And it's all thanks to a camera swallowed like a pill. You can see the stomach contracting back and forth, trying to grind up those noodles.
Striking thing about our experiment, when you looked at a time interval, 1 hour or 2 hours, we noticed that processed ramen noodles were less broken down than homemade ramen noodles.
And take a closer look. You can clearly see the difference between 20 minutes and 2 hours of digestion. This one study couldn't conclude that processed ramen is harmful. In fact, the study was too small to be conclusive about anything. So at last check, more research was being done.
Who still eat ramen is my question. Because, yeah, sodium. I mean, you might as well just be eating bologna every day.
She actually indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, I believe that's what took place. We can define that. You'll have to show that. I'm sure you're going to show that. But she was interviewed by Anderson Cooper, and I think she said that rape was sexy, which it's not, by the way. But I think she said that rape was sexy, and she actually said things that were very strange. And then she was a different person when he said, we'll take a break right now. We're going to take a break right now. He didn't like what she was saying. He was very upset with and then she came back and she was a much different woman in the second half, so to speak.
And so the question I'm asking you is, did she say in that interview that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, she said something to that effect. I mean, you'll have to take a look at the interview yourself. I believe she said rape was sexy. To which Anderson Cooper is dying. He's saying, let's get to a commercial break immediately. I think you better watch the interview. I'm sure you have, but...
Trump, he's such a character, but that's about the lady that he allegedly raped or whatever. I don't know. I still don't think he'll be ever prosecuted for it, but yeah.
Well, you should stop eating hot Cheetos
making
of death.
The kids' lunches again, right?
Yes, indeed. But now doctors are alerting parents about a popular snack that could land your child in the ER. You see it right there, flaming hot.
7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson is here with the snack you may want to consider skipping.
Spicy snacks like flaming hot Cheetos and Takis have become so popular that now you're seeing this fiery red powder on just about everything, from popcorn to pork rinds to potato chips. And ask any kid, they'll tell you you can't stop at just one, and doctors say it could be doing damage to your kid's digestive system.
Okay, hot Cheetos and Takis. Hot Cheetos and Takis.
From rap videos to local playgrounds, the consensus is in.
I like them because I like spicy stuff. And hot Cheetos are like spicy.
That's 9-year-old Kayla. Her mom, Jeanette Ticer, owns Every Girl's Dream Summer Camp for girls 5 through 12, and she's very familiar with the flaming hot craze.
The kids, I offer them a snack in the morning and the afternoon. In the morning, it's more of a healthy snack, fresh fruit. In the afternoon, I let them have more of a junk food type of snack. One of their major requests would be hot Cheetos.
But could all this heat actually be dangerous?
There's a lot of things that go around on the internet as far as kids being rushed to emergency for stomach pain or vomiting.
So these hot Cheetos, these hot snacks actually can damage your stomach because of the increased acidity that it can produce.
WXYZ's Dr. Partha Nandi is a gastroenterologist, and he's seen what these sizzling snacks can do.
So these kids are eating them and they're having a lot of pain. It's because the amount of acid is more than the stomach and also the esophagus can handle. So bad that they end up in the emergency room.
On top of that, just a small bag of these has 24 grams of fat and over 1,200 milligrams of sodium.
This is high-fat, processed, full of spice that it's to such a level that it actually increases the acid level in your stomach and can damage it.
Dr. Nandi says it's important for parents to keep an eye out for signs of stomach pain in their kids. As for Kayla, well, she's got a pretty good grasp on her diet for a 9-year-old, telling us what her favorite foods are.
Grapes, strawberries, and pineapples. First, I try to eat healthy foods, then go to snacks.
Frito-Lay has said previously that their snacks meet food safety regulations and that some consumers may be more sensitive to spicy foods than others. And in a statement, Takis said their snacks are safe to eat in moderation. Doctors say moderation is the key. Jennifer Ann Wilson, 7 Action News. Moderation. Okay, y'all.
I had me some. I've never eaten Takis because that was before my era. But definitely hot Cheetos. I can definitely tell you though, it's been about 20 to 30 years since I had one of them things. And I don't know why I used to eat them.
Before a man gets into a relationship, he should forgive his mama. He should forgive his grandma, his auntie, his sisters, and also any woman that he's ever been with and had a negative experience with, or anybody that's let him down or hurt him or, mistreating them, et cetera, et cetera. The reason why that's important because as a man, when we don't forgive and we don't deal with our past, we go from relationship to relationship and we project the hurt that we've experienced in our own lives onto another woman. And ultimately, you end up hurting other women because you haven't sat down and dealt with yourself. That's even become evident in my personal life. You hear me? The effects of not stopping and dealing with yourself. When you don't stop and deal with yourself, you end up hurting people that you love, and you end up hurting yourself ultimately. We haven't taken the time to deal with our inner child, you hear me? And we let those things transfer over into manhood, and a lot of that stuff should have been left in childhood. As men, a lot of us are told to keep going, keep working, provide, be strong, do this, you hear me? And a lot of that turns into cover-ups, you hear me? And hiding, and a lot of it turns into dark spots, and then dark spots turn into blind spots, and now we make decisions out of blind spots, and that ultimately has you lying to yourself. And then lying to the people that you love, woman that you love.
Forgive your mother, fellas. That's what's wrong with, and I say the same for women too. Both of us I see daddy issues and mommy issues.
This is a really disturbing story. Police in Arizona obtaining DNA from male employees at a nursing home after a woman who has been in a coma for a decade gives birth. CNN's Sarah Seidner is live in Phoenix with all of the details. Oh my God, Sarah.
That is just basically the way to describe this. It is absolutely horrifying. That's the way that Hacienda healthcare officials describe this. The family says they are traumatized and they are trying to get through this, but there are still a lot of details that people who have patients that are inside of this facility want to know that have not yet been answered, and they want answered, and they want them now. A stunning revelation at a healthcare facility in Phoenix. The San Carlos Apache tribe said one of its members, a 29-year-old woman living in a vegetative state for more than a decade, was impregnated and had a baby while in the care of Hacienda Healthcare. Legal analyst and attorney Brian Claypool says there is only one explanation for what happened.
If the woman in Phoenix was in a vegetative state and she gave birth to a child, then she was raped because she could not have consented to a sexual relation.
Karina Cessna, whose 22-year-old daughter is also a patient living at the facility, says she and another mother panicked when they heard about the case.
We were just so scared because who knows what would happen if it was a staff member, if it was a family member, if it was a stranger. We have no idea.
Cessna's daughter is unable to walk and barely able to talk after suffering brain damage, leaving her extremely vulnerable. What did you decide to do personally to make sure your daughter who's inside is safe?
I stay here 24/7 now to make sure that she's in a safe environment as well and just move forward because trust has been severely broken.
As for the company's CEO, Bill Timmons, he resigned earlier this week. And Hacienda Healthcare's board sent out a statement calling what happened an absolutely horrifying situation and an unprecedented case, without giving specifics of the case. CNN witnessed several police cruisers stationed at the facility during the day, and Phoenix police say they are investigating, but have offered no additional details about the case. Then on Tuesday, Hacienda Healthcare sent this statement saying police served a search warrant to obtain DNA from male staffers. The company said it welcomed the development in the investigation, but Cessna says the healthcare company didn't even inform the families of other patients at the facility about the incident until about 5 days after the birth, and only after local news reports exposed the situation.
I think that there's an underlying blanket somewhere that they're trying to hide under, instead of being transparent. They're not being very transparent at all.
Again, there are so many questions that people want answers to. We did get a chance to hear from the attorney for the family. The family is not talking at this time, too traumatized to talk. However, they said that a baby boy was born and that boy was born into a loving family and will be cared for. John, Allison.
I don't know what to say.
There's nothing we can say. Sarah, thank you very much for that reporting.
Man, if if you just, you want your loved one to be safe in those kind of facilities and stuff like that, it's wild, man. It's very, very wild. Well, I tried not to have too many death in the story time, but there's always something. Stay away from that ramen and hot Cheetos, y'all. Y'all keep y'all head up this week. I hope y'all have a blessed, amazing week. Is It In Yet? Is signing off.